The wait for Formula 1 is finally over. Bahrain 2025 preseason testing is finally right around the corner, and we get to see our first look of all 10 teams finally putting their cars on track. This will also be our first time at looking at the 2025 grid in all their respective cars. Teams have worked very hard to find an edge during the winter break, but testing will finally show us whether they've actually made a breakthrough or not. No more ways for the teams to hide, it's all about performance, and whether or not the driver and car combination will finally work will be unveiled in our 2025 testing period. So let's go over the 11 key things you need to watch out for at 2025 F1 testing in Bahrain. Right before starting the video, wanted to thank you guys for support on the channel. Amazing as always. We're aiming high for that 100K, so if you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. Shows me I'm doing a good job and truly means the world. Let's get started with this video. Naturally, every year we go into testing, Red Bull is one of the most looked at teams. They hide their Formula 1 cars the most during these unveilings or livery showings, and there isn't really much information over the winter on the RB21 and what it can produce on track. Now, we have heard from Horner that the car itself has tried to minimize the issues the RB20 had, but will it truly be able to get over Adrian Newey's departure, and will the cracks continue to show from 24? The car was obviously plagued with a lot of race pace problems. Its qualifying was okay depending on tracks, but this is a new team we're looking at. It's not the Adrian Newey Red Bull era anymore, and this is their first official season without him actually at the helm working on this car. So will it be enough for Max to go for his 5th title? In unison with that, they do have a new driver lineup. No more Checo on the team. With now the new Kiwi, Liam Lawson, will he be able to adapt to the crazy nature of these Red Bull cars? These cars have a lot of front grip, they drive on the nose, so that means a lot of oversteer, and most of the drivers that are in these Red Bull cars have a very hard time. And while it is in their nature as Formula 1 drivers to be first, maybe for the first season, it's nice for them to settle down, be second to Max, learn about the car, and see if they can truly adapt to this weird driving style. Naturally, testing will show us how comfortable they are with the car, how much they can push, and if Red Bull's truly found its second driver. I am also hoping for it. I really do like Liam, so I really hope it's a good showing for him. The Ferrari SF25 has undergone many major changes. Will this finally be the year that they can go for the championship, especially now with a guy like Lewis Hamilton in the car? The 22 and the 24 season started very good for them, with them being first in 22, and in 24 they were second in this testing. The cars seemed to be very well balanced, but it was easy to tell that the Red Bull was the favorited car getting out of testing. So will this finally be the year where Ferrari shows off that they've put it all together for this SF25 package, and whether or not the car truly is as grippy as they're talking about it being? And while we have seen him in the shakedown driving that SF25, this will be the first track that Lewis Hamilton will officially drive on that we will see on the 2025 calendar. Lewis does love his late braking style. He's definitely going to be testing out the car and whether or not it can truly adapt to him using it. And there's many reports saying the car has been adapted to both Lewis and Charles to extract maximum performance from the two drivers. After the shakedown with Charles Leclerc in the SF25, it was reported that Lewis Hamilton was about 8/10 off of Charles, and these are numbers that we really shouldn't take seriously. But Lewis himself has admitted that he's not at the level that he wants to be as of yet. Everything is different, and it will take time for him to adjust. So I would really like to see if under these regulations, Lewis can truly drive to his full potential. In 23 was the closest we got to almost a prime Lewis Hamilton, at least in these cars. The McLaren car has undergone some extreme solutions, and let's see if it'll properly work in this F1 testing. They've gone for an extreme anti-dive on the front suspension of the car. No other team has followed, at least from what we've seen. And so far in 24 and even 23, any of the simulation work they do, it correlates to track, and the team shows off the success they had with their tech team. This is the year for them to go for that 2025 title, whether it's Lando Norris or Oscar Piastri, and let's see if they were given the car to do so. The 2025 Formula 1 grid is stacked with rookies, and it'll be a perfect viewing for us to see which of these drivers can gel with the car and find the confidence as quick as possible. Liam and Kimi are definitely going to be on the spotlight considering they're driving a Mercedes and a Red Bull, but watching out for Ali Behrman, Gabriel Bortoleto, Isaac Hadjar, and Jack Doohan on whether or not they can stick with their teammates during this testing and they truly find confidence. Should be pretty exciting for all of us to see so many different people driving these cars. Mercedes rocks up into every single season having a very unpredictable car. And while they do rock up with some very unique solutions like in 24, The car ends up having one problem and then having to find a solution for another after it's fixed. Will we finally see a consistent Mercedes car at the end of this regulation cycle? The car was convincingly fourth regardless of some great performances Lewis and George put in during the middle of the season. Development has been up and down, and time again as the car gets rolled out in Bahrain preseason testing, they never truly know the problem with their car. There's been so much speculation on the team having a very successful winter, but we've heard this story over and over, so now it's finally time for them to actually put it down on track and show us what they're made of. 24 was a very unsuccessful season for that of Aston Martin. They started the season okay in qualifying, but in race pace, they were just nowhere. Their development was just as poor as in 23, but supposedly this has been their biggest winter yet, and they say their hardest working. The most amount of effort was put towards the end of this regulation period. Alonso is very confident with the car, and there are a lot of speculative reports saying this could truly be a competitor. I don't think Aston Martin is going to come out of the blocks running for a championship, but if they can solidify that 5th place, that would be a good look for the team. And just having a constant good development over the season will do wonders for the team going into 26. Alpine have started these regulation periods either very poor or very good. In 22, the car was successful, 23, the car was mid, and then 24, the start of the season, it was the worst car on the grid. Will they work off of the success they had by the end of 24, having a double podium in Brazil? Because it was really easy to tell in 24 when the car was super clunky, had a bunch of understeer, and was overweight in the Bahrain testing. Let's hope that's not replicated in 2025 and they've truly found a solution to these cars. The Haas team has gone under a very simple evolution, at least off of the eye test. The team had a very solid and pretty good race car in 24, so can they continue that momentum in 25 even with it looking very simple to that of its competitors? The team now has also introduced 2 different drivers with Esteban Ocon and Ali Behrman replacing both Kevin and Nico from the 2024 season. So seeing how these two work together as a teammate pairing and how they develop the car as a group will play a big impact on their 25 season. Testing should surely show us whether the car has done enough over the winter or if the team is already focused on their 2026 car. The Williams car is looking for stability. In 2025, if they can achieve that, that would be a major success for them. And while James Vowles has gone on record to say, crash the car all you want, 26 is the important season, Carlos, Alex, and James Vowles himself have already came out and said that they've put in a lot of work over the winter, they've gone for a very aggressive car, and testing will show us on whether or not they've truly made a very consistent car. The team was working on Excel spreadsheets before this season, but now everything is in order. We're going to see a truly different team. And if they finally found their footing in Formula 1, it's been backwards for a while, but now with Carlos and Alex at the helm, it would be nice to see Williams finally popping up and fighting hopefully with Aston Martin, Alpine, and possibly Haas. But these are my key things for F1 testing. I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. Please leave a like, subscribe. It would mean the world. And peace.